my 65 Mustang, now powered by a 331 stroker that's probably doubled its horsepower. In this video, we're bringing it back to life, better looking and better performing than it's ever been. But in order to do that, we have got a lot of work to do. So I might go off on a limb and say, let's get to work!
Where'd you go?
No eye contact. In the last video, I did a ton of work to both this engine and 8-ball to be ready for each other. And since filming it, I've gotten the timing dialed so this thing fires up and runs awesome. Before we start working on it, I'm gonna let you give her a listen, because it sounds oh so sweet and absolutely insane. Fire it up, Devin. That is gonna be so rowdy. I'm gonna start with the essentials, starting with the front accessory drive, then the cooling system, and throttle linkage. Now, because the factory V-belt on these engines and these cars don't really love high RPM, I've had pretty good luck converting them to serpentine belts, like this 6-rib kit, and it's gonna look a lot nicer in here too. Check it out. That polished aluminum on there, it's gonna look fast. Crankshaft pulley. I did put Loctite on these as well because I have had pulleys like fling off of engines high into the air and destroy themselves before. And that's a scary, scary thing. Ooh, that's torqued. Yeah. Next step, I got this nice 6-rib Power Master alternator. It has a higher output and it also is a 1-wire and self-exciting. That means it is connected to the battery and needs no other trigger other than its own spin. So when it starts spinning with the engine running, that tells it to start charging and that makes it charge. Next, shiny aluminum bracketry. Tight. Now the alternator is in place. Installed. Got a belt on there, getting her tight. Hoping I have enough adjustment in this. Because we did not get the right size belt. We got one that is an inch too long, but seems to be fine. Currently getting masterful with zip ties to create lovely plug wire separators, which will help me organize the plug in an aesthetically pleasing fashion. Now, I can start installing the cooling system. Next step, radiator goes back in. Upper rat hose, lower radiator hose. Perfect. Now Zach and I shall install the exhaust system. I'm gonna leave the snaps on it for right now because I think it's gonna sound nasty, but later we'll probably add boom tubes. This thing will sound meaner with no mufflers, but I'm honestly just really happy with how my exhaust came out because I welded this on a whim on the floor a couple months ago. All right. That sucked. It's almost that time again. That time to fire it up. This time with a cooling system and exhaust. All I gotta do is top off the coolant. There is still no throttle linkage, but I've also plumbed up an oil pressure and a temperature gauge, so I'm actually gonna let this thing run for a while after I put coolant in it. I wanna burp the system. I wanna see how she sounds, see how she runs once she's warmed up. Can't drive it quite yet because I don't have a gas pedal, but we can listen to it with an exhaust and an X-pipe. Dude, it's bringing back the smell of when it blew up. This radiator just reeks of that melted 289 guts. I wish you guys could smell it. It's not a pleasant smell. It smells dangerous and hot. Hopefully the rad's still good. I guess we'll find that out. Okay, it does not appear as if we have any coolant leaks yet, so we're gonna fire it up. I'm excited to see how it sounds through the speedy snaps. It's got long tubes, X-pipe, speedy snaps, and dumps. So it should be pretty pissed off. Zach's gonna hit the key for me, and I'm gonna let it run for quite a while. When I tell you to hit the key, get fired up. That sounds good. think I need this catch can. I think the catch can is causing a big vacuum leak. I'm gonna plug the back of the carb back up. Try again, Zach. What do you think, Pop John? Sound good?
Sounds pretty mean.
As you can see, it's idling better now. The issue was my very junky oil catch can with full vacuum leaks, so I just vice gripped it shut. So it seems pretty happy. It's a whole new day here at the 8-ball extravaganza, and the other night we got tons of stuff done. The front accessories are on, we have an alternator, a cooling system, which we have bled, we've got an exhaust system on that sounds good, there are no leaks, everything so far is awesome. Now I have to fix this. As you can see, the factory throttle linkage is just a direct linkage, similar to the clutch Z-bar, but it does not reach the tongue ram linkage. So I bought this Amazon gas pedal throttle cable setup for $60, and I'm going to install it. World's longest bolt holding the gas pedal together. Check it out. See what I was talking about? You push it one way, it goes the other. Isn't that crazy? Had to cut a little slit here for the throttle cable to go up in, but there's our mounting hole. There's our throttle cable. All right, I popped some holes in the floor to fasten this. It is a little bit annoying to tighten, and I really hope these bolts don't back out. But I did cover them in red Loctite, so I don't think they will. Got my nice carburetor bracket right here, get nice and tight. Boom! Then all I gotta do is connect the pedal to the carburetor. An hour into installing this pedal, it's all connected and it's all tight. But guess what? The kit's f***ing junk. Do not buy a universal gas pedal kit from Amazon or eBay, ever. First off, the pedal is tight and it immediately stripped. It is adjustable on splines, and those splines immediately stripped the first time we tried to actually hit the gas. On top of that, when you pull the gas, it just cinches up the cable like this. You see that? It's also insanely hard to pull that cable, like really hard, and there's not even any return spring hooked up on the carburetor. So I'm really annoyed. I'm going to have to fabricate something to work with the stock pedal linkage, which I didn't want to do. I wanted a throttle cable. So it's very rare for me to say this, but don't cheap out on the eBay, Amazon parts when it comes to a gas pedal and a throttle cable, because you'll be really pissed off like I am right now. Time for me to take all that out and negate all of the work I just did to make it look really good. I was actually excited. I was just about to drive it. Amazon gas pedal. Look at that. Fell apart. Amazon throttle cable. Now, I guess I will make this stock pivot work, which is just gonna look stupid. Like, I know I can make it work, it's just gonna look stupid. I'm going to probably have to fabricate something to move this back over in line with a throttle linkage and make it way taller so it can actually reach up here. But I'm gonna run into problems hitting the stupid shock tower brace. I'm really annoyed right now that that throttle cable did not work. But the show must go on. I'm gonna start my solution by bending this factory throttle rod sideways. Now that I've got sideways curvature, I'm gonna straighten it back up. I've just created another so that we are straight up and down again. As you can see, I eyeballed that pretty damn closely. We are pretty much in line with these. Now I just gotta get creative for actually connecting it together. I have this piece of steel stock here, and I'm just imagining if I connect it at the end here, and then up to the front carburetor over here, where a throttle linkage hole would go. That angle, I don't think is too bad. I can't connect it to the back carburetor because that angle is too aggressive, and it would also hit this, but I think this might work. Looks a little crazy, but it was not in my intentions to be using flat steel stock. It was my intention to use a throttle cable kit. But, as you just saw, that failed miserably. Continuing on with just welding random things together until I make something work. As you can see, I have this little carburetor throttle linkage welded to the end of my stick, along with my washer, and I will now install it. Now we take a big ass bolt, put it in there. We take another washer to make everything smooth. We get our linkage. Then we get a lock nut so this thing ain't coming off. This old thing better not slip. The one thing I'm gonna salvage from that dumbass gas pedal kit is the bracket for the cable, which I will use as a throttle return spring bracket. So I guess we could just say I paid $80 for a throttle return spring bracket. Something that I'm going to remain salty about for a long time. And this is coming from eBay's top automotive parts advisor. I say you should buy everything from eBay, except for this. Now, I get my spring, bada bing. Now everybody, watch this linkage as I go in and I hit the gas pedal. Oh, check if I have any more openage. Oh, what's that? I don't? You're telling me in 10 minutes I fabricated something far better than that stupid cheap throttle cable kit that makes me want to go do really, really bad things that I'm not going to say on the internet? Direct linkage. I've totally flooded the carburetors by now, but I got a throttle linkage. And our floppy woppy gas pedals back in. Test time. Totally have flooded it. I flooded the snot out of it the past 30 minutes. It was fire. It feels different when it's under my foot. I think we might be able to take it for a spin. Before we go driving, I should probably actually install the gauges so I can monitor engine vitals. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also very excited. Hop in, cameraman. As you can see, I might have bought a knob that is not a T-handle that likes to come loose, although this one is loose. We also have wires in here. In this video, I have much more work to do, including in the interior, but let's see if she runs. Oh, I know she runs. Now let's see if she drives. Does she go into reverse? First time this clutch will move this car with this engine. Ooh, it feels good. It feels really nice. Oh, dude. As much as I want to, I cannot go out and immediately beat on this thing because I have to break in the clutch at least a little bit. You're supposed to do 1,200 clutch cycles, which means the clutch engages and disengages 1,200 times or 500 miles. And I can promise you, I'm not gonna drive it that long before I start beating on it, but we gotta be a little nice to it. First time on the road. Oh, the tunnel ram is moody. She's definitely gonna need dialing. I haven't touched either of the carburetors. I have no idea what jets are in them. I don't know what the air fuel is because the O2 sensor has taken a dump in the air fuel gauge, so we're flying kind of blind. But from this small amount I've driven, I can tell it's a lot more powerful. Second. Third. Fourth. Yeah, it's already. Ooh, I can guarantee she's an angry and I want to floor it really bad, but I gotta ease into this clutch. It's brand new. The tunnel ram does not like the easy throttle, and it might be that way kind of forever because tunnel rams are not meant for streetability. Hot damn if it don't look cool. Wake up, come on. cars definitely need some love and some tuning. It sounds so good though. It sounds a lot like noise complaint. Just sitting here at a stop sign. This thing's rattling my chest. I don't know if you can see the camera shaking, but look at the shifter, dude. This whole thing's just bumpity bumpity. It's badass. I mean, I'm not dumping the clutch. This thing is gonna be fast. And that was okay because as long as I'm not dumping the clutch or just doing full pulls, you know, it's probably okay. But cameraman's face also lit up when I did that. Just so you guys know, I didn't go above half throttle at all. That was not even more than half throttle. I'm gonna go easy up to third gear, but once I hit third gear, I might lay into it a little bit just to feel it, just to give myself a little crack hit. Okay. Never mind. Third gear was gonna go alarmingly fast. If I had held it. If I had held it, we were gonna be going unsafe speeds. Maybe second gear is the testing gear. Well, we've put 4 miles on the clutch. So before we go into the shop, I wanna feel second gear again, because it felt awesome. Second gear made my legs feel like spaghetti right now. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear it get all pissed off? I like second gear. I want second gear all the time. But for now, we gotta go back to work. I gotta stop flooring it. The clutch is still brand new, but this thing rips! I like 8-ball a lot more now. She's chopping, running cool, fantastic oil pressure. What more could you ask for on a first test drive? This motor is badass. We are not nearly done with 8-ball. I'm putting it back on the lift to mess with the rear end and suspension again. Wheels off. You may also notice I put 295s on these. Look at them. 295s. They're too wide. They just don't look that good on the car. I liked it for a while, but it's lost its luster. Now I took the back tires off for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is I want to play with the ride height because I don't like the rake this car has. I'm going to drop the rear end 2 inches. Issue 2 is the wheel hop. I put these cheap chrome traction bars in it when I did the 4-speed and they just don't work. I thought it was an issue with the boom tubes getting sandwiched between them, but I took the boom tubes off, still wheel hopped. It could have also been due to those wide ass tires, but you know, I ended up finding better traction bars that I'm going to replace these with. Traction bars that I actually weld to the frame and should work well. But before I do that, I'm gonna take them off and I'm going to drop the rear end 3 inches, which when you add it up with the 1-inch lift leaf springs, 3 minus 1, we're gonna be dropping it 2 inches. First thing I'm gonna pop off are the traction bars. Amazing how rusty these got in like 3 months. Now I'm gonna remove the spring plates. You saw me do this 800 times on Blueberry, but it's time the 8-ball gets the treatment. Boom. U-bolts out. Number 2. Step 2, drop her down. enough to fit in these 3-inch blocks that I've already modified for Blueberry. Oh yeah, they should. Slip and slide. Come on. Right on in there. Back up we go. Hopefully. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna look a lot better. I just wasn't a fan of the rake. You know, I put lowering springs on the front kind of on accident, but couldn't live with the rake. I have my custom bent U-bolts. Click. The next thing I was gonna install were these old school Shelby style traction bars that bolt to the spring plates and then weld to the frame and look a lot more stout than the crappy slapper bars. But of course, in classic fashion of this video so far, where just things are not quite working out. The parts I'm buying aren't working. They don't work. Basically the spring plate does not match up at all. They said they were for a 65, but it looks more like they're for a 67. So I can't use those. But I do have slightly better traction bars upstairs that I'm hoping are better than the cheap ones that I took off. I have returned from these upstairs parts stash where I found these. I've had these for a couple years and I just now realized, A, they're much stouter than the ones I just took off. Thicker steel. But also, check this out. This additional plate right here will allow these to sit like this because these rubber stoppers are supposed to sit basically up against the eye of the spring at all times. And the ones I just took off had like a 3-inch gap, as you saw. So hopefully that fixes that and these actually work. I'm still bummed about those weld-on ones though. They were supposed to work and they were like 200 bucks. I think I paid 20 for these at a swap meet a couple years ago though. Because I will not be bolting a traction bar to these, I guess I could cinch them down. Sweet, installed. I hope to God these traction bars work properly. They're already looking a lot more promising. Well, not the traction bars I wanted, but the traction bars we got. I cleaned them off, now just bring these bad boys back to life real quick. Who needs that super nice, weld-on stuff when you got random you found in the parts pile? I am waiting for a package in the mail that may or may not include wheels, so while I wait for that, I'm gonna tackle the interior. I'm gonna make it look a lot better in here. First thing I'm gonna remove is the steering wheel, because it's just a little bit big. I do love the look of the stock old Mustang wheels, but I got something better for it. Come back to my trunk of secrets. What could be in this box? Everyone says. I'll tell you in a minute, I reply. Don't show my address. Don't show my address. Don't show my address. Where you at, old school? Oh! Yeah, baby. Yeah, that shiny, shiny white. Woo! That's gonna be badass. And it's also gonna give me slightly more knee room. Let me teach you how to never use a steering wheel puller again. Step 1, make sure it is straight up and down. Step 2, remove nut. Step 3, put nut partially back on. Step 4, first off, try the wiggle test. Put your weight backwards, wiggle, and pull. Boom, see? 9 times out of 10, you don't even need to add the hammer. But I would have added the hammer. Steering wheel off. The horn is not getting power anyways. I gutted all that previously, so it doesn't really matter. I've screwed together the steering wheel assembly with adapter. Now I'm gonna get it on there nice and straight. Bada bing. And of course it doesn't fit. Got a slim socket. Steering wheel nice and tight. I put the little horn button on backwards, but I fixed it. So now I have to hold the spring in place and expertly kind of get the horn button in place. It has to happen in an instant. Oh, got it. Click. We have a new steering wheel installed. Next install for the interior is this, the Monster Tack You might not like them, but I think they look cool. And I just want it mounted right there on the column with the shift light that will blind me when it's time to shift. Hopefully it works. I don't know if any of these work, but I'm going to splice on some spade connectors and cook it up, see if it works. As you can see, I have my old tack wired with spade connectors because I kind of planned on changing it in the future, but it also makes it easy for troubleshooting. So I'm just gonna plug this in. I have the light and the power wired together, so it'll hopefully light up when I turn it on. And then, let's see what happens. It's now connected. Hopefully, I turn on accessories and it does something. Ooh. Now this is gonna tell me where to turn the shift light on. We'll say 6500, because I put a 6800 rev limiter pill in it. Does it work? You know where my keys are? Trunk. For testing purposes, I don't want to rev the snot out of this because it's cold now. Shift light set at $4 grand. Does it all work? Yeah. Cool. Now I just gotta mount it. I'm gonna put it right here on the steering column because I think it looks metal, and I don't really like this little baby Sun Pro tack. I don't think they look cool. Maybe I'll put this one in blueberry. Set this up about where I want it, mount it to the steering column. The speedometer doesn't work anyways, and I have no intentions of actually fixing it, so blocking it doesn't bother me. I can't tell. Do we like the shift light at the bottom, close to the column, or do we like the shift light at the top? What you think, cameraman?
Top.
Yeah, I agree. Top looks cool. 8-ball looks faster just because of that. Maybe I'll leave this one in and I'll have 2 tacks wired together, so I'll always know what my RPM is. Always. So cool. Clamp this thing down. Get it straight up and down just like so. Get that hose clamp tight. That thing's got to put up to some horsepower. Some of that whoom. That is looking pretty sweet. Tighten down the tack clamp here. 8-ball didn't look that fast inside until right now. Okay, now I am reinstalling the air fuel gauge down here because I obviously took my gauge pod out. Now that she's not boosted, I'm not all that worried about monitoring the air fuel, but it is still very important. She's a race car now, got all sorts of gauges in the cockpit. Next cosmetic modification, finally, a shift boot. That's gonna look awesome! Boom! Finally. Look at that. Classing her up. I also have gotten rid of that Hurst T-handle. Boo, baby. Let that off. Shoo-wee! Look at this! Look at this race car! Oh, man. That's badass. It is looking so good in here. I've got it all vacuumed up and wiped down. And the last step to its beautification are these nice rubber flow mats that totally hide the carpet that is torn up and wrinkled and not fitting well. It looks awesome in here though. Check it out. It's time to go back up on the lift because my package has since arrived. I also realized I was a dumbass when installing the traction bars and forgot that I need to put load on the springs, so have the car technically at ride height. So what I'm doing is putting a trans jack under the center section. I'm gonna loosen these traction bars up, like so, jack up the rear end, and then retighten them. Fixed. I am very, very excited about the wheels for this car. I've wanted to do this old school day 270 setup forever, and I finally bought them. Check it out. We've got the old school 15-inch Steelies with the raised white letter Hoosiers. These are 15x7 wheels with a 245/60 tire, and I have no idea if they're gonna fit. Oh, those look meaty. But they are totally hitting the traction bars just like I anticipated. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be too hateful to fix. It's time for some cutting and some hammering. I think all I gotta do is just cut a corner off here. Got those cuts smoothed out and beautified. Sweet. That's not the only clearance thing I have to do. If this thing hits a bump, I don't want the tires rubbing, so I'm going to introduce those lips to Mr. Sledgehammer. Hey, get close and show the fine people what's happening to my 4-month-old paint job. I've had people ask me, Tom, how do you tuck 305s on noise complaint? The answer is this. It is an answer that not a lot of people like to know. I got a lot of road dust in my mouth. Why'd you make that face, kid?
What the f is road dust?
Dust from the road.
Wouldn't that just be dirt?
Now that 8-Ball is all ready for these fat ass tires, cameraman went ahead and scuffed and prepped them. I'm gonna get them nice and warm and shoot them gloss black, because we need some black on the car named 8-Ball. When you do this, you can actually watch the moisture in the metal rise to the surface and then evaporate with the heat. It makes things dry 3 times as fast. Now I, with my trusty cardboard and spray can, will beautifully paint these. Thankfully, a little bit of overspray won't hurt tires because it's black, and tires are also black. Oh yeah, I can already tell that's gonna look badass. Dude! Oh, that's gonna look sweet. Yeah. That is exactly what I had in my mind. That's only coat 1 too. Hey, don't start judging yet. I ain't even hit him with lacquer thinner on the edges to take care of my overspray. That's badass. Getting these bad boys with coat number 2 now, and they are looking hot. While those wheels dry and 8-Ball's still on the lift, I think it's a great opportunity to put boom tubes back on it. These are my very own Speedy's Equipment stainless steel boom tubes that are available on my website. You can go buy yourself a set right now, unless they're out of stock, because they're running out quick. But these things are badass. They're gonna make this thing sound like an animal once again. So I'm basically just gonna cut the exhaust off right after the X-pipe and pop these on, and this time, I'm going to make them exit about here, so they're fully out of the way of the slapper bars. I don't really care that it's not right in front of the tire, as long as this is in line with the body line. All right. 1 sexy sounding Speedy snap removed. If you like the sound of these little glass packs, you can go to my website and buy yourself a pair. They don't rust. They've been on the car. I drove it in the salt with these on it. Check it out. They're not all rusty. Speedy's Equipment.
.com.
I'm gonna put them in the exhaust pile, and I wanna show you guys this because if you have seen the exhaust pile before, you know that this is crazy. I organized the exhaust pile. It literally used to just be a mountain of exhaust pipe. But now I have it so I can find things. We have mufflers, we have tailpipes, we have complete exhaust systems, we have Chevy Silverado headers, Y pipes and X pipes, and we have stock H pipes. Sometimes I do things that just tickle my OCD, but then I completely ignore the OCD when I do absolutely anything else with a car. Now if all goes right, I can just slip on this Universal 45, slip on Speedy's Equipment boom tube, and it's gonna make it exit right there, which is pretty far away. I guess I need to put a little pipe in there. I've got this looking pretty good where I want it, and I'm just tacking the boom tube and intermediate pipe together. Side number 2. These are not pretty welds because I'm rushing. Hangers will be the same situation as last time. Bolt them up right here. Check that out. Perfect. I'm installing the front of the exhaust with my Speedy's slip band clamps so I can remove it if I inevitably have to pull the transmission, which is sure to happen because it is not meant to handle this horsepower. Before we listen to that exhaust and put my rear wheels on, I gotta tackle the front wheels. Don't worry, I'm not gonna get rid of these because they're super cool. I'll probably put them on another car, but 8-Ball's got something better on the way. How could I replace the super cool old school torque thrusts? I don't know, maybe if I found some 15 by 4.5 Krager SS's and put new tires on them that are slightly wider and less likely to kill me in a turn. Woo! Mamacita. Kragers have the most annoying lug nuts ever, but it's worth it. Now, I can put on my black Steelies, which I have cleaned the overspray off of. Please clear. Ooh, that's gonna be really, really close. That's gonna be really close, as in really, really, really close. Oh my God, that looks so good.
Should I show them?
No, not yet, not yet. Might put a spacer on the back just to fix that, but y'all ain't ready. I've introduced a spacer into the mix. Oh yeah, that's close, but that's fitting. And it also looks like the lug nuts are not grabbing any threads, but these are actually pretty tall lug nuts, and as long as I'm grabbing the diameter of the lug nuts worth of thread, the wheel won't fall off. Don't quote me on that if later in this video the wheel falls off. Y'all ready to see and hear 8-Ball V2? Dude. Oh, those look so mean. Oh. Oh. Oh, it looks fast. Dude, it looks fast as shit. Oh my gosh, dude. That's exactly what I had in mind. I think this stance looks so much better. Okay, this thing has transformed into something super pissed off looking. Dude, look at that side profile right there. Do you guys want to hear it now? Because I want to hear the 331 stroker through no mufflers and boom tubes. Adopted a new vibe. Look at this. Do you see it shaking? You guys can't maybe see it, but oh my God, dude. The whole car is shaking. Come on. Tell me that's not badass. I painted this car in October and I have literally never washed it once or wiped it off. So it's filthy, and before we go have fun with it and add a couple finishing touches, I'm gonna rinse it off. Maybe this is the first time I've ever washed it in my ownership. Period ever. Dude, especially bad up here. This is where all the blow-by just constantly dumped all over the paint.
Right now, just to make sure that the carbs aren't loading up, and it's all good. I just think it doesn't have very good street manners. I've also already set the idle air mixture screws, so.
Adjusting the accelerator pump here, you're supposed to have a 15 thou gap
In between the squirter and the bolt with the spring on it. A lot of people say you have to open it wide open throttle to adjust it, but I've always had better luck doing it at idle.
This rear carburetor was pretty damn tight, and it still kind of is, but the front one was good. So I'm hoping that adjusting this will allow
Us to have a little bit better streetability.
I flooded it.
Oops.
Look at that! No more hesitation off idle.
Last step for this engine, because I'm calling the carburetors flawlessly dialed, even though I haven't touched the jets, is the scoop. Oh yeah. I just need studs to mount that up. Oh, that looks mean. Oh yeah, baby. Instead of going with the normal air cleaners inside of the scoop, I'm just using the filter in the front of the scoop and calling it enough, because that is way easier to install. The O2 sensor already went bad, so I have another one. Hopefully it lasts long enough to dial in the air-fuel ratio. Does it work? Oh. That's very loud. Cameraman nods in agreement. But the air fuel gauge does appear to be working. So when we go out and we maybe do some more pulls, we can monitor it and make sure we're not gonna lean the motor out and destroy it. Last accessory time, sticker bomb, boom. I went on eBay and completely nerded out on a bunch of super old school stickers, and some of them are actually old. Like, look how old they are. Check it out. Mustang, Sun Instruments, Hurst, Wyand, hooker headers. Those are all gonna look badass on the quarter windows. First things first, the old school Ford logo. Oh, yes. Next up, competition cams. Yes, sir. We're not gonna have room for all of the stickers on the quarter windows, but I'm gonna try my best. This is looking super old school. Competition Plus by Hurst. And then, holiday carburation. The other side is not gonna be symmetrical because I'm messing with the opposite angles, but as long as I fill it up, it looks pretty cool. These are my personal favorite old school auto parts stickers. Hooker headers. The car also does have all of these parts on it. It does have a wind intake, comp cam, hooker headers, so I'm not lying. I'm really excited about this one. This is just like super 70s. Prismatic finish. Yes. She might not stick that well, because it is probably from 1975. Still looks awesome. Surprise sticker pool, matching prismatic engine stickers. I know it doesn't have a 302, it has a 331, but the 331 is based on a 302, and there ain't no way I'm finding an old school NOS prismatic sticker like that says 331. So this is gonna have to do. That looks so cool. They're matching perfectly. What you think, cameraman?
I like it a lot. Also, just so that everybody else know, Tom randomly just ran up to the upper shop and pulled those out of his ass. And they fit perfectly.
Yeah. For the one new school sticker,
Gotta rep the one and only company that sells the boom tubes on this car, which also happens to be a company that I own. And you can go visit right now, but that's besides the point. Boom. Boom! Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now I am aware there were tons of comments like, Tom, how can you name it 8-Ball when it's basically all white now? And my plan was to have these super cool, awesome black graphics that would go on the quarter panels, but I'm really dumb, and I got them printed in white, which is ironic. I'm gonna end up getting these in black, and also larger, because I want them to fill up a majority of the quarter panel. But, you know, we can't do anything with them today, so I say let's go drive it. Let's go. I am very excited to hear this thing drive with boom tubes. Definitely still cranky, but less cranky now that I play with the carbs a bit. I'm not gonna go beating the snot out of it. A, it's cold. B, this clutch is still brand new. That sounds mean as hell. The rear end is insanely floaty though. That's weird. You feel that?
No, not really.
The rear end was like shimmying around. I might need to air these tires up some more. It pops loud as hell. Oh, hey now, hey now. That's weird. I'm gonna go back and check the tire pressure and I don't know, do something. Because I don't like the way the rear end is swaying. That feels weird. Turns out these tires are severely overinflated. Max PSI is 40 and they're at 52. Alright, I aired the tires down to their appropriate 35 PSI and I also took those spacers out and sanded down the traction bars a little more so the tire's clear. So we now have no spacers. They were kind of freaking me out. So hopefully she doesn't wobble around anymore. It wasn't really wobbling, it was more like swaying really bad, which I can almost guarantee was the tires, but I don't know. Never be too careful. Way better. Okay, didn't feel sketchy that time at all. That's good. And the tires aren't rubbing from what I can hear and not smell. It really sucks, but there's a header leak like immediately. There was a header leak when we first started it. I just bought crappy header gaskets. It was at 12.5 AFR as soon as I went wide open throttle. So this thing runs, dude.
I felt my eyes sinking into my head.
Yeah, she's one nasty girl, man. She don't play around. I'm really glad I took those spacers off too. I don't like using those universal spacers with steelies like this. It just doesn't sit right with me. I'm afraid the wheels are gonna fall off, so don't do what I did. So good. This does not look like the same car at all. Doesn't look the same. So much better. Sounds so nasty. All right, well now that I know when I'm under full throttle, the AFR is perfect. I'm not so scared of flooring it. I do want to do a good pull, you know, maybe shift a couple gears, but I can't bang shift it and I can't dump the clutch because the clutch is brand new. Cut the camera and then took a brief little trip to Mexico. Yeah?
Yeah!
Okay. And hypothetically maybe got on it in first a little bit to see if we instantly break the stock drive shaft or stock axles. Oh, Viva la Mexico! Yeah! Dude, 8-ball rips! Whoa!
I think I really like 8-ball.
I was being bad. I didn't watch an air fuel gauge. And I shouldn't be shifting it hard at all, but dude. Let's try again. Oh, she was squirrely that time. Second gear was pissed off, man. This thing's nasty. Oh, shit. This thing's nasty. Don't worry. I'm breaking in the clutch. I'm gonna do 1,200 clutch cycles right now. Second gear's angry, dude. On this clutch, I can't keep doing that, but this thing, like, I can't keep beating on it, but dude, this thing is so pissed off. I definitely need to do some more dialing and definitely break in the clutch, but she's nasty. What do you think, Airman?
I like it.
Far faster than it was with the supercharged 289. Shop. I richened up the idle a good bit, so now it's idling around 12.5, 13. Hopefully fattening the idle will help with the par throttle cruising. We'll see. Classic Tom, right? Oh, it's way better. When setting idle, you just turn the mixture screws in until it idles as high as possible. That's the most vacuum possible, but the tunnel ram is pretty finicky. It doesn't quite agree with those settings, so you gotta fatten it up a bit, I've learned. Third gear synchro is already a little crunchy. This thing's an animal!
basically a wrap on 8-Ball for this week. I am so happy with it. It is everything I wanted it to be. The stance is perfect, the wheels are perfect, and it runs super good. Like, it's fast as a little faster than I anticipated. I'm honestly surprised it has held up with the 4 pulls we did, but it's a screamer. I'm super happy with it, but sadly I can't do burnouts and beat on it until I break in that clutch and dial the carburetors in properly. But I think we've had a fair share of fun in this video on the best damn automotive content on YouTube. So guys, if you've enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. I'm all ears. Let me know what you want to see more of. And if you want to see more videos, speaking of, you can check out the Patreon for an extra one every single week. If you want some Tom's Refurb merch, check out tomsrefurb.shop. And if you want some boom tubes or Speedy snaps of your own, check out speediesequipment.com, the company that I own and I sell parts through. So thank you guys for watching. Doesn't it look good? Like, can you and I just stand here on this beautiful spring day and take in the beauty of this 65 Mustang? I love it. Almost half as much as I love you. Thanks for being here. I love you. Did I mention that yet? Because I forget. Bye.